Okay, so once they reached their goal, the Pacific Ocean, in November of 1805, and stay at Fort Clatsop until March of 1806, they decide it's time to head home. And when they make the return trip, they head up the Columbia River for a while. Then eventually they decide to get a little confident, like, you know what, we're going to split up here for a while. Lewis is going to take a northern trek home, while Clark is going to take a southern one. And it's decided that, hey, we're gonna reunite where the Yellowstone comes into the Missouri River, and then once they meet at that fork of the river that they experienced earlier on their way out, they decide they're going to reunite here and then continue on the way home. Now, on the way home, they are going to stop at Fort Mandan. Back at Fort Mandan, Sacagawea and Toussaint Charbonneau are going to head out. They're going to then get back on that big keel boat that they had parked at Fort Mandan in the process. And from here, it's a straight shot all the way home. From Fort Mandan to St. Louis, it's only going to take uh, about 5 or 6 weeks, much quicker than it would take going upstream. And they were just really eager to get home. They were skipping camps along the way, skipping food supply along the way. They just were eager to get back. They will return to St. Louis eventually in September of 1806. So it's going to take them a year and a half to get from St. Louis to the Pacific, but on the way home, it's only going to take them 6 months. Now, when they return home to St. Louis, they're going to receive a hero's welcome. People are going to be astonished that they are actually still alive. People are going to be eager to hear what they had experienced out here in this territory, and no one will be more eager to hear what they came across than President Jefferson. And so this statue here commemorates the return in St. Louis. And once back in the States, Jefferson is eager to learn what they've discovered. He's eager to learn how that Northwest Passage works, what direction it takes. But unfortunately, Lewis and Clark are going to have to report to Jefferson that there is no Northwest Passage. There's no water route from the Mississippi River over to the Pacific Ocean. Those Rocky Mountains proved to be too much of a continental divide to really make much sense there. So despite the downer of news, they still have a lot of positive things to report, new things that provide new possibilities for their future. First one here, new animals. They're estimated to be about 122 new animals that Lewis and Clark are going to classify in their trip. And these animals provide the opportunities for food sources, for fur and clothing and such. And some of the major ones of the 122 would include buffalo, salmon, coyote, prairie dog, or some of the items mentioned in the video that we viewed in class. So 122 new animals. Make sure you include a couple of those big examples in your notes as well. Other new living things, new plants. Now, new plants are important because of the food source and for medicinal purposes. 178 new plants were classified by Meriwether Lewis on the trip. So food and medicine are the important prospects for the plants. They also came across new native tribes. About 50 new native tribes they came across, and this possibility is there for future trade, and they can learn a lot from these native tribes as well. There were some friendly tribes, such as the Shoshone tribe, the ones that hooked them up with the horses. The Nez Perce was considered to be the friendliest tribe of them all. Also, the Mandan and the Hidatsas showed them hospitality as well. The tribe that was the most hostile towards them was the Blackfeet tribe, one where in one skirmish on the way home, they ended up having to kill one of these Blackfeet members. And finally, the last new thing is new geographic features. Now, before they went out there wasn't much on the map to really highlight, but now they can detail in the Louisiana Territory where the rivers run, where the Rocky Mountains are, where the Great Plains are. And when they came across these things, they mapped them out. You know, they recorded their location, their latitude and longitude, and now we have more accurate maps of the region. And so we have a better idea of what and where our potential is with this new land area, which doubles the size of the United States. And so, for a purchase price of $15 million, we will double our size and gain a greater understanding of what was there. The total purchase price of this whole expedition is going to cost $38,000, and some would say that price tag of learning what was out there was very well worth it.